Now, like the head, like the head, here you go. What's good, y'all? It's your girl, Kenitra Mozelle. I am late. Y'all gonna have to forgive me. Y'all gonna have to forgive me because today is Friday. Today is Friday, and I was supposed to see y'all on yesterday. And when I tell y'all, hold on, let me get my phone. When I tell y'all, I was present in the wrong place. So what's true about us? What's good? Drop Grace and Grit in the comments when you come in here. Look, this that quick 15-minute check-in. 15 to 30 minutes. My bro said 15 minutes is what we do. And so I honor my co-visionary, right? That's what we're doing. So Grace and Grit Uncut checking in for the weekend. So I'm gonna say this real quick, right? We be doing multiple things, right? I was so tired. Count the cost. I was so tired yesterday that I went live early in the wrong place, right? Because y'all know I'm Grace. I'm going to show y'all something. Y'all know I'm Grace for this, right? That's the Grace Darius be clowning me about. Hater. Right? Yeah. And he was like, did you go live? I was like, oh, I went live. I missed it. I be hard on myself. But he was like, no, give yourself grace. He be having a ball with that. So what's good, y'all? I want everybody to take a deep breath with me. Take that deep breath with me. It is a Friday night. If you catch it in the replay, absolutely say replay in the comments, y'all. We are fully leaning into this thing. Ownership from the top to the bottom, from the A to the Z, from the beginning, until the end. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. And we've been doing this checking in for the weekend thing. I think Fridays are gonna work better for me, y'all. Okay, so we might do the Fridays instead of Thursdays in November, just because I want to make sure I show up and like give it all of the energy. I want to give my absolute best. So we're probably gonna lean into these Fridays. Okay, we'll lean into these Fridays. Our thing for this month is counting the cost, right? Last month it was like this trick or treat situation that be going on, right? But for us, this is counting the cost, and I love that for me. Because I give a lot. And so if we're going to talk about counting the cost, I think it's really appropriate because I am one who gives. But when we say count the cost, it makes me process from a different lens because there's nothing that any of us is doing that's not going to cost us something. And as we are stretching and growing, many of us are going into that next place. We're solid about the next thing that we're going into, but have you considered what it's going to cost you to go to that next place, right? So last week we talked about it personally, counting the cost of what's going to be different about you. And see, my thing is personally, relationally, professionally, in my space when I'm Coach K and when I'm GFT down to the socks, right? We talk about wellness personally, relationally, and professionally. So I'm bringing that to the space. So from the relationally perspective, I'm going to say this and you're going to be a little bit triggered. Are you ready? Mm-hmm. It's some things you're going to have to give up. Ooh. People don't like to hear that though. It's some things you're going to have to give up, right? Say it out loud. I'm counting the cost and there's some things I'm going to have to give up, right? What you mean, Neat? There are things that you do without question, without pause. You don't think about it twice. That inside of a relationship, and I ain't talking about it's got to be bae. We can talk bae-ish later, right? But inside of a relationship that you treasure and that you want to be healthy, there's some things that you're going to have to give up. You're going to have to give up considering only your perspective about a scenario. You're going to have to give up your way being the only way. Yeah, you're going to have to give up your decision being the only decision. You're going to have to give up your thought process being up, unintended, being the only thought process that actually matters. When you share space with somebody, relate. If you want to relate to somebody, you cannot center yourself only. So, what is it going to cost you? Are you ready to give up that? Are you ready to give up the fact that you have to give up something? Like giving up the fact that you gonna have to give up something. Like some of us are some selfish creatures, and I'm good on my life and my things being centered around me. I like that. I'm not hurting for anything. Like I'm thoroughly satisfied with my life being this way, right? Uh let's say you're one of those type of people and you feel like everything is good, right? When people start talking, let's talk about it, because people will get to these conversations where, well, I'm looking for this, and I'm really want to start dating, and I want to be a wife, because y'all already know I'm a wife, and my sis backed me up. Period. Darius came out here telling me I ain't no wife. Check us, boo. I had to give y'all that. Okay, but people start having this conversation about what they expect and who bringing what to the table. Are you counting the cost of what is even going to be in a relationship? Because the nature in which you're bringing up the topic of relationships tells me that you're not even sober about the fact that it's going to cost you something. Ain't no way in the world your conversation around a relationship is one that centers what somebody else is doing. Are you unaware that you have to come to the table with sacrifice? Are you aware that you have to come to the table with room to actually consider what's important to the other person? Or did you just arrive to the situation and thought it was going to be wham, bam, all about Pam? Or Sam, whichever, him and her and him, period. Who do you think was going to be sitting across from you, right? It's going to cost you something. You're going to have to give something up. Now, let's sit with this. You're having to give something up. I'm going to rephrase and I'm going to say the same thing in a different way. Like to hear it go. You're going to have to invest something. That's the same thing, but it's different, right? Because it requires you to give. I said the same thing. This little curl over here. Come on, bless it. Look like I care. In the dark. Can y'all see it? Look at it, healthy. Luscious. I'm silly. I'm gonna quit. Y'all gonna be like, replay. What? Hashtag curls. Okay, I'm gonna quit. Right? Are you ready to invest? Like legitimately, when we say that we want to be in partnership and relationship, like even if we look at what me and Darius J are doing with this collaboration, like y'all, this is a thing that we are building together. It is requiring us to invest. Not just in time and energy and conversation about what we're going to talk about. We are having to invest money. Do you know it costs money to start stuff? Do y'all know what? Huh? This microphone costs money. I got a new stand, right? This might be y'all first time seeing me on a microphone and it don't look crazy. Why? Because I bought a microphone stand. Okay. You're going to have to invest into something, right? So when you think about relationships from the perspective of the investment, I'm trying not to go off because this can go two ways at the same time. I want you to realize that you're not going to get a return on what you do not invest. You want somebody to do 1, 2, and 3 for you and wow you and take you out on all of these things. What have you invested? And I'm not talking about giving somebody your body. What is it that you are giving? Are you giving attentiveness? I ain't saying giving attention, because you can give attention without intention, or the attention can be given with the wrong intention. Be careful about that. The game has been played in the face before. Ask me how I know. Okay. What are you willing to invest? I think that's a good question. I think that's a question to ask yourself before there's even somebody pursuing you, before the opportunity presents itself. I think you need to have a sober conversation around what you're willing to invest, right? I want to stretch it a little bit further and say, Let's think about how you invest in your friendships. How do you invest in your friendships? We talked about it last episode, the beginning of this month. We talked about it at the beginning of this month, um, about how it takes work to spend time with your friends. I'm talking about your A1s, like some of your best friends, people who you love, who have seen you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it still takes time for y'all to plan time to see each other, right? So if we talking about, boo and base situation, honey, look, because now remember, because people was out here trick and treating, so be careful because they still on the prowl, all right? Don't let it cost you the wrong thing. Huh? Okay. What are you investing in your friendships? Because if you want to invest in a friendship, you ain't gonna give it in a romantic relationship. If you want to prioritize it in a friendship, why you out here dating and having expectations over there when you have not even built the foundation for the friendship, and yet you want a return on an investment in the intimate relationship. That's not quite sober. That's not quite sober. We drunk on something. What is it exactly that you own? We was on, you know, in different variations of time or what so have you. What are you willing to invest in? You want to know about somebody? What their friendships look like? Can you hear me? You want to know about somebody? Ask about their friends. When last time you hung with y'all friends, what y'all did? Y'all had a good time. Listen to what they say about their friends without you inquiring. Yeah, they've been my friend for so many years. And guess what? That means y'all probably got something in common. I would count it as information. Look, counting the cost. Are you willing to invest? What are you willing to invest? Like 110%. Like solid. Like for real, right? I didn't write down my 3 points for y'all. They just kind of flowing in a natural sense. But I would like for us to end on, I would like it to end on a really sweet note, but I can't get away from the sacrifice. Like you can't be in a relationship and not sacrifice, right? It's gonna cost you some comfort, right? I'm gonna tell you the scenario that's playing in my head, and then we're gonna wrap, right? The scenario in my head that's playing is when you find your person, you got your right one, and y'all are in a beautiful, wonderful space, and y'all have celebrated, and people rock with y'all and all of these things. And then one of those people who said that they rock with you decide that they don't like the fact that you did not choose them over that partner, that you are choosing that relationship over their relationship. Somebody's uncomfortable, right? That person is uncomfortable. Are you willing to be uncomfortable because they're uncomfortable to keep this in good care? Because I'm trying to tell you, somebody gonna think that your prioritization of them is off because you are prioritizing the place that you're committed to. Prioritization is very important. Prioritization is, I posted it today. I posted in my Instagram stories today at Kenitra Mozelle. Um, um, it's not about like getting all your priorities done. It's about like identifying what your priority is. Like essentially, it's a Stephen Covey leadership quote. But essentially, he's saying that it's not about figuring out what to make your priority. It's about arranging the priorities first. I kind of said that ish. Let me go to my story right quick and let me make it plain. Can I do that? Can y'all do that with me? Comfort. Are you ready to be uncomfortable? Because advocating for the relationship that you're focusing on in that moment It might make somebody else uncomfortable when you have to prioritize it the way that you have to. And people are going to challenge you. Please know and understand, somebody going to challenge you about how you are prioritizing your things. And it's okay. Just be ready to be uncomfortable. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. That's what's it. That's exactly what it is. If I say I'm spending time with my girlfriends, then I'm spending time with my girlfriends. That's important. Me having a healthy relationship with my girlfriends sends me back to other relationships, rejuvenated, refreshed. If you got good, solid sisters, come on here. I'm talking to my sisters. If you got some good, solid relationships, you spending time with your girlfriends is important because it sends you back into the other places that you serve, work, and love, refreshed and sober and challenged and refined and sharpened. If all my time is only spent with this one person who is a partner or who pursuing me or whatever else, I am only a reflection of the friction that I received there. I need friction. Slow down. I need friction from different places. All of the friction that I receive cannot come from the same place. Otherwise, I will not be fully refined. If I tell you this is my devotional time and I'm doing so-and-so in the morning, then I'm not typically available. And you already know, not to come into those protected times, right? And so what we will learn about each other, that if you show up in this space, then it must be an emergency because you already know. Let me turn it on. You already know that this time is set aside for my reset, baby. Shout out to all my squad who've been doing the reset, baby. The Lord been over here getting us all the way together in all their best ways. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So prepare to be uncomfortable, y'all. It's gonna cost you comfort. It's gonna cost you getting up and doing the thing you would not normally do. It's gonna cost you taking some paid time, some unpaid leave. What? Your wife want to do a who? Well, we made it a priority. Oh, okay, yeah. You said you want to go where? All right, we're gonna have to cut the cost on this so we can save money for that. Yeah, why? Because I need to invest actual dollars into this thing that's important for this relationship. Yeah, we're gonna have to count the cost, y'all. You're gonna have to just be solid about the fact that you're gonna have to give something up. You're gonna have to invest and you're gonna have to be uncomfortable. I love you. These are 3 things for Grace and Grit Uncut with Kenitra Mozelle. I am the Grace of Grace and Grit. Look, I hope that encouraged y'all today. If you're not already following us, look, here go the information right there. Grace and Grit Uncut. If you are not following the podcast, look, the information is in the description. Get up in there. Get up in there, y'all. Me and Darius just had one of the best check-ins. I tell y'all, we have like brother-sister check-ins, and then we have our business brain check-ins. But let me tell you what happens. When we have a solid brother-sister check-in, it goes straight into business mode because that is how we are wired, right? So it's a really good model of what happens inside a healthy relationship that you take care of. If I don't know that my brother doing good, how we talking business? If he don't know sis good, what? That ain't how it works. That ain't how it works, y'all. Period, right? So shout out to my brother. I love and appreciate him so much. I'm glad we get to do this together. Legitimate. My natural brother, he a real different kind of nerd. He like a history buff nerd, right? He a different kind of nerd. Shout out to my brother KLJ Jr. Right? But yeah, y'all get up in this podcast, okay? Let me tell you something. There are some gems that were dropped in the first half of the year that we are finally dripping out. And then there's some things that we're talking about in this space. So if you are a podcasting type person, or if you maybe catch this in the beginning, or you catch this in a reel or a clip or whatever, honey, go over and check it out. Grace and Grit Uncut. It is on everything, everywhere. My brain said Pandora. When the last somebody been? What? Pandora. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember Pandora? Oh, Pandora was like, of course, it was before there was iTunes. It was like Pandora was like first generation streaming music, first generation Spotify, first generation all of it. Okay, shout out to Pandora. It was like pretty bluish color. Let me quit playing like I ain't got places to be, honey. It's 7:23. I gotta go. I told y'all 15 on 4 minutes over. I love y'all, bigs. Your girl Kenitra Mozelle. The grace of Grace and Grit. Can't say it. Excuse me. The grace of. I think we need to keep that of Grace and Grit, or maybe it's just when I show up by myself. Irregardless, that's me on duty. We talking about wellness, relationships, and the pivot and the purpose. We taking ownership, all of it. We're here to challenge, convict, and convert you in your mindset and how you take ownership of whatever it is God has purposed you to do. It's Grace and Grit Uncut. And we out. Love y'all big. Make sure y'all are following us. Get up in this podcast. The link is in the description. Peace out.